And it is now Jen's turn. She's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. So she's got 3 action points left. Okay, so 2, 3 action points. And she's going to spend the saved up one and get this guy out of the building. Okay, she goes in the ambulance. He goes in the safe zone. So that was good. We got 3 down. We're just under halfway there. Kind of hard to cut a guy in half, so yeah. So now we're going to replenish or advance the fire. Red 6, black 2, and we got smoke right underneath them. Oh, this ain't good. Okay, and since Jen rescued the dude, we will now roll for the replenishment of the POI. Okay, we got red 1, black 6. They're just gathering around the hazmat or hazardous material. Alright, so comes over to me. I got a decision to make. I gotta choose. I'm dead smack in the middle of this one and this one. So I gotta choose which one to go to. 1, 2, 3. Just spend my free action and get here for 4. Okay, so I can go 1, 2, 3. Spend my free action, get here for 4. Or I could go 1, 2, 3, and just get to him. I think I'm gonna go for this guy. Jen could get to this guy on her next turn. But he's pretty safe there. I think she may just go after this guy, get him away from that mess there. Alright, so yeah, I think I'm going to go for this one here to see what it is. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. And we have a survivor. Okay. And I spent my saved action point. I can extinguish stuff for free, so I'm going to extinguish this and this. Okay, make it extra safe for us. Alright, I should have actually got this on the way down, but I didn't think of it. So it goes to the next stage, advance the fire. And I just knocked them all over the place. That's okay. Alright, so we have red 6, black 7. And here we go. Smoke turns to fire. Okay. So we still have 3 points of interest on the board. We don't have to roll for that. It is now Jen's turn. Like I said, she's going to come over here. So 1, 2. It's her survivor. Okay, so 3 is the end of her movement. 4 or 1 for her normal actions. And then 3, 4 or 2, 3. And we put the survivor in the safe zone. Okay, so Jen's got 1 more free action, or 1 more action point. It's a little confusing with the specialist. You could do it though, don't worry. Just got to keep a track in your head. She has 1 more action, and I think she's going to stay there and just save the point. She could just come in here. You know. But if she does that, this could ignite and blow her up and knock her out. Which really wouldn't be much. You just go back to the ambulance, but it's wasting an action point. But what she could do is this. Okay, when you're in a vehicle, it takes up 2 spots. You can choose which side of the vehicle. You can choose which side of the vehicle to come out. You can come out the front, or you can come out the back. It doesn't matter. Okay, so she is going to do that. She's going to come out of this vehicle into this spot here, and being that she's the rescue specialist, she could chop a wall for 1 action point. So she's going to chop some damage into this wall. That'll be her last action point. Okay? And eventually what it'll do is it'll take one space off of our route to get there. But I just figured I'd show you that. Alright? And sometimes, especially on this board, it's a good idea to chop holes in the wall so you can get out a little easier. Alright, so that's the end of Jen's turn. She's now going to roll to advance to fire. So we have red 2, black 2. And we take our token here. Red 2, black 2. Smoke next to smoke. We're okay. Alright, now she's got to roll to replenish the points of interest. And we have red 2, black 7 right next to me. Okay, so it is now my turn. So I have 3 points. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move up here, 1, 2. I'm going to dump them, or her. I'm going to come here for my third action point. We're going to see what this is. And it's a false alarm. Get rid of it. It goes up into the Deadpool. Okay. And for my free point, I'm going to extinguish this flame here. Okay. So it's the end of my turn. I'm going to roll to advance to fire. We have red 2, black 4. And there's smoke coming out of the turret. Alright, so being we had the false alarm, we are down 1 point of interest on the board. We reroll. Okay, so we have red 4, black 1. Take our dude here. There's fire there. So we go to here. Fire there. So we go to here. Okay, so there's no fire, smoke, or an POI there, so I'm going to say we can place it there with the hazmat token. Okay, so now it is Jen's turn. We have another guy in danger here. I was going to chop through the wall and come through, and I think I still am going to chop through the wall. So Jen's first action, she's going to chop through this wall. So that's 1 action point. Then she's going to move 1, 2, 3. That's all for free movements. For her second action point, she's going to move here. Okay, so she's got 2 action points left. Let's see what this is. And it's a dog. Okay, so Jen now has 2 action points left. Oh, and she's in a bad spot. She could get lucky. So I think she's just gonna wait there. Yeah. Okay, so she's going to take her 2 remaining action points and just wait there. Okay. Then next round, she'll get the dog out. Alright. So now it's my turn. We gotta advance the fire. We have red 6, black 6. Okay. Up here, got smoke. Okay, there's fire here, but there's a wall, so it doesn't get turned to fire. It's good. There's no flashover. Okay, and there's still 3 points of interest on the board, so we're good there. Comes back to me. Now, let me do some math here. 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 action points to get out. I could leave her there and come here, that's 2. Save 1 action point. Then chop through this wall, that would be 4. Okay, so that's 6. Then I could call the ambulance over here. That's 8. And then I would carry her from here to here. That's 10. And then into the ambulance is 12. I think that's what I'm going to do. Glad I mathed that out. I think that's what I'm going to do. It's going to save me 4 action points in the long run. Alright, so 1, 2. Okay, and I'm going to save my final action point. Okay, now we advance to fire. And we have red 3, black 2. Red 3, black 2. We have just experienced our first explosion, folks. Okay, so what's going to happen is it's going to radiate to the left. We're going to put a fire token there since it's empty. If it were smoke, well, it would already be fired. It just travel through. Okay. It's going to shoot up and damage this wall. It's going to shoot down and damage this wall. Okay. Now, this wall isn't broken through yet, so it stops when it hits a wall. Okay. But if this wall were open, there were one more damage point there. It would come here. This would turn to fire. This would turn to fire, and it would hit this wall. Okay. But we're not there yet. Alright. And then finally, it'll shoot through and extend out here. Alright. Now, at the end of the round, you just remove them if they're outside the building. I just put them there to indicate that it did extend outside the building. If there were a firefighter, he would get knocked over if it hit him and he were standing in this spot. If he were carrying the victim would be lost. Okay, so this gets placed back in our supply there. And we go to the third phase. All 3 are on the board, so we skip that. It is now Jennifer's turn. She's going to get the mud out. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We saved our doggy. And we are now halfway to victory. So she has 1 action point left. So she saved 2. I think she's going to come back in here. Okay. Alright, so she's going to end her turn there. Alright, so now we're going to advance to fire. Okay, red 4, black 3. So we have red 4, black 3. Okay. It's next to fire. It gets turned to fire. Okay. And then we come up here. This door is open. So we'll go in here, turn this to fire. Okay. So we gotta be careful. It could explode the hazmat. Being the fire's next to the hazmat, it's okay. If there was fire in the same square as the hazmat, it would blow up. Okay, so since Jen saved the dog, we roll for a point of interest replenishment, and we have red 2, black 4. And it's already smoke. The toilet's on fire. That's never good. Alright, so it comes over to me. So here I am. I am going to spend 2 action points to chop through the wall. Or chop damage to the wall. And then I'm going to spend my saved up action point. I'm going to spend 2 more action points to actually chop through the wall. So then I'll call the ambulance over. It's actually wrong. It won't be 12 points, it'll be 14, because when the ambulance from here to here is 2, here to here is 4. Okay, so yeah. Damn it, dog. Yeah, it would actually be 14 instead of 12. Okay, so go from one side of the board to the other with a vehicle is 4 action points. 2 to adjacent, 4 across. Okay. So now we're gonna fuel the fire here. All right. Got red 3, black 2. Sorry, hit that over. Red 3, black 2. We got smoke turns to fire. Smoke, smoke equals fire. Flashes over. This turns to fire. Now both the couch and the love seat are on fire. All right. We still have. Should have 3. What happened? Ah, damn it! I forgot to replenish it. All right. Okay, I'm gonna roll for Jen to replenish Jen's. Forgot to roll for the replenishment of the POI. So we have red 4, black 2. The red 4, black 2. There's fire. And it comes up here in the red 5, black 2, right next to the hazmat. Alright. So now there's 3 points of interest on the board. Don't have to worry about it. Alright, so now it is Jen's turn. Shut up, dog. Okay, so Jen is going to come here. 1, 2. And we have a victim. She's going to carry it. 3, 4. Remember that firefighters can go in the smoke. Not fire, but they can carry a victim in the smoke. Okay, and then she's going to come over here. 5, 6. So that's all of her free movements, and she used 3 of her regular action points, and now she has 3 left, and she's gonna get them out of here. Okay, she's gonna get her into the safe zone. So we are now at 6. We are 1 away from victory. Okay, so now we're gonna roll for the advancement of fire. Red 5, black 1. And we go here. It's getting really dangerous in that kitchen. Alright. Since Jen saved a woman, and I remembered this time, we're going to roll to place our point of interest. So we have red 1, black 7. Okay. Right underneath the hazmat. Okay. So it comes over to me. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to call the ambulance. Go 1. Knock off all that. Okay, 1 spot. And technically, if Jen were in there, she could have rode for free. Okay, so this cost me 2 action points to go here. If Jen were in the ambulance, she could have gone here for free. Alright. But I want to leave her there. Okay, it's just costs her double to extinguish all this, so it's kind of pointless to drive her here and then leave her off. I could bring her over here though, but you know, it'd just be a waste of. Oh no, actually, you know what? I'm going to do that. All right, so Jen was in the ambulance. Okay, so she's there now with the ambulance. So that's 2 action points I used. For my third one, I'm going to come over here. I'm going to see what this is. Okay, so we have another victim. Okay, so that was a good call. Now we're going to advance the fire. Okay, so we have red 4, black 2. And it's explosion. Okay, so what happens is shoots up. Damage this wall. Luckily it wasn't already damaged, or we come in here, blow that up. Shoots down, damages this wall. Shoots over to the right, damages that wall. And then shoots over to the left, and we place a fire marker there. Okay, so that wasn't that bad. See, you can see the damage can add up quickly, especially when the flames get out of hand, like it's starting to here. They could get out of hand quickly, and the building collapses. You lose the game. All right. Now, if I had rolled here after we took care of this explosion, we would then re-roll these dice, or roll again, actually, and whatever the result were, we would place. Oops, sorry. We would place a hot spot on wherever we rolled, and then deal with it again. You know, if it were smoke there, it would turn to fire. If there was fire there, it would be another explosion. Okay. So that is the end of that. We had 3 points interest on the board. We don't have to worry about that. It's now Jen's turn. So she's going to move the ambulance over here for 2 action points. She's going to come in here. That's 3. We're going to say that's all of her movement. She's going to come over here. That's 1, 2, 3. And she has enough saved up to get the victorious last victim in the ambulance. And that's what she's going to do. She's going to spend 1 action point, use her last action point. She gets the survivor in the ambulance, and we win. We drop the survivor into the fire. That's never good. Alright, so we win the game. 7, count them, folks. 7 victims saved. That went pretty well. It's this game, you never know. It's you never know with this game. I wanted to show you how the fire engine works and all that. So I know the game's over, so I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go in and I'm going to show a little bit about the fire engine and shift crew. I want to show that. Or shift change. I wanted to show that, but I just didn't get to it. And then maybe a little bit about the hot spots. Alright. So this is officially the end of the game. I'm just going to continue like I'm still playing the game. And then we'll get to this ambulance, or the fire engine here, and then I'll show you a little bit about how that all works, okay? So that would be the end of Jen's turn. She'd roll to advance to fire. We got red 3, black 5. What I'm hoping to do is hit a hot spot. Okay. Red 3, black 5. Nothing there. Smoke. Whoop. I'm in red 3, black 4. Nothing there. It is smoke. Okay. She doesn't have any points of interest. She's 1 short. We roll. We put a point of interest on the board. Red 6, black 4. Right here. Okay. So it would be my turn. I don't know. Okay, so we go 1, 2. Let's see if we get a hot spot here. We got red 5, black 2. And well, we got an explosion with the hazmat material. Okay, so it would be smoke. It's next to fire though. So it's turned to fire. This gets turned over to fire because of the flashover. This explodes. Okay, so we remove it from the game. It's gone. And we take one of our hot spots on the pips here, and we place it in that spot. Okay, and then we're gonna continue the explosion. So it started here. It would go up. We'd place a damage marker here. Go to the left. We'd hit this wall here. Put a damage marker there. Go over to the right. We'd hit a damage to the wall there. Damage that. Okay, and then it would shockwave. This wall is now destroyed, and so is this one. So it would shockwave all the way down to here. Okay, it would travel through this flame, this flame, this flame, this flame, and this flame, and hit this wall. It's going through these 2 destroyed walls. All right. So then it would be Jen's turn. So let's say she She's going to use 2 points to move the ambulance to an adjacent parking lot. She'll go over here. Okay, then she'll get out into the fire engine. That's 1. So we'll say that's her 3 movement. She has 4 points left. So with the 4 points, what she's going to do is she's going to use the deck gun. So what you do with that is the red lines indicate which quadrant she's in. So all this flame here, from like the edge of this table up, and from the middle of the bed just about over to where she is all that quadrant. Okay, so you roll both dice. Okay, so here you see we got red 5, black 6. Now, red 5 is in her quadrant. Black 6 is not. It's over here. What we do with that is we would take the dice, the black die, flip it over, and we have red 5, black 2. So that's right here. This is where the deck gun would hit. We would remove that token. Okay. So then the deck gun shot the water in, hit here. Before I go any further, you cannot fire the deck gun into a quadrant with a firefighter in there. Okay, so if I was standing there, Jen couldn't do it. She couldn't shoot the gun. I'm not there though. I'm over here, here. I'm over there somewhere. Okay, so she can shoot the gun. The stream hit here, and now we have to splash over. That means it will fall over in each adjacent section or space on the board. So it'll come over here and it'll extinguish this. It'll go to the left, extinguish that. Go to the right and extinguish that. And then normally there's a wall here that would stop. It can't go through walls or doors. But being that this wall is destroyed, it can. It's acting like an open passage. It would overflow into here and it would extinguish that. Now, like I said, if there was a firefighter in here, she couldn't do it. It doesn't affect POIs. The splash over and all that doesn't affect POIs. Okay? So that would be the end of Jen's phase. Let's see if I can roll a hotspot. If I can't, then I'll just show you. Okay, we'll fudge it. And we have red 2, black 6. Of course I didn't. Alright, so we're going to fudge it. Through the magic of my stubby fingers, we rolled red 3, black 1. Right here, we have a hotspot. Okay, so what that means is this will explode. There's fire on it, it'll explode. So we'll first resolve that. Okay, so shoots over here, hits this wall, damages the wall. Okay, shoots out here. Flames go into the outside, the ambulance area. Vehicles aren't affected by the shock waves, okay? Goes up, damages this wall, comes down here, damages this wall. Okay, so now what we do is we'll remove this. Remember, after the explosion's resolved, we just get rid of it. We'll roll again. Okay, so we have red 4, black 5. Okay, right here. That's actually a good example. Right here. There's an explosion. There. Okay, that's where it started. We'll put the fire token there and we'll resolve it. Okay, it'll shoot to the right. We put flames here. Up and down, it'll be damage to the wall. Okay. And it'll shoot to the left. And there's a point of interest there. You would flip it over. If it's a false alarm, throw it up here in the dead pool. But say it weren't, say it was a victim, they would die and go up into the dead pool. And then you would put the flame token down here. Okay, now we rolled here, and there is a hotspot there. So we do it again. You keep doing it until you hit a spot without a hotspot on it. If you roll again, there's another hotspot on it. You do it. You roll again, and you continue. All right. So we're gonna roll again. We got red 3, black 6. Right here, another hotspot. All right. So we go here, and we place a smoke token. Hotspots do not affect how the threat tokens work. If it's empty, you put a smoke token on there. If there was fire on there, you would make an explosion. If there was smoke on there, you just flip it over to fire. Okay, now, so hotspots don't affect how the tokens themselves work. But this is fire, so we have a flash over. This turns to fire. This turns to fire. Okay. It wasn't an explosion, it was just flash over. We hit another spot with a hot spot on it. We roll again. Okay. So we have red 6, black 3. And we finally come to a spot without a hot spot on it. But we put a hot spot there. Okay. So we don't roll again. We just place one of our hot spots from our reserve pips over here, and we put it there. Now, once all of them are used from the pips, whether it be 6 for the recruit or the veteran, or 12 for heroic, they're done. That's it. Okay. So that's basically it. You just keep doing it over and over again until you get to an empty spot without a hot spot on it, or a spot with like smoke or fire on it, but that doesn't have another hot spot on it. So now we have the shift crew. In order to do a shift change, in order to do a shift change, you must start your turn in the fire engine. Okay, so Jen's in the fire engine. She can then take any unused specialist cards and take the role of that specialist. Okay, so say she wanted to stop being the rescue specialist and she decided she wanted to be the paramedic. Okay, she would take the specialist card, discard the specialist that she is, but she would keep any unused action points. Okay, they go with the player, not with the card. Alright, from what I understand, that's what I read. Okay, she would discard the specialist she was previously, and then she would become the paramedic. And the paramedic can treat a person for 1 AP. She would place one of these heal tokens, which we didn't get to. They're specific for paramedic, as far as I know. And you could place that beneath the victim, and the treated victims can move with the firefighter without being carried. So they would basically just follow the firefighter. Instead of using 2 action points to move from spot to spot, you would walk 1 action point per spot like normal, and the victim would just follow you. Okay, but she would pay double AP like the rescue specialist to extinguish fire and smoke. Okay, so I think we covered everything. Like I said, let me know how you guys feel about the way I did this. That was Flashpoint Fire Rescue. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Hey folks. Alright, so normally I do these final thoughts right after I play a game. It's not the case with Flashpoint. It's now 2 days later. I just got done work, and I just want to get this wrapped up, throw it on the computer, and then I want to start rendering the video. It's all done. It's edited. It just needs to be rendered and then uploaded on the YouTube, and then stuff there has to be done. But I ran into some time constraints this week. I actually did the video for this 3 times. I did the family version of it 2 weeks ago, right after Survive. I did it back to back figured I'd cut myself a break, and then the final, the next week I would do the final part of it on my day off, and it didn't work out that way. I started editing the family version, and I just didn't think the family version of the game brought out enough of what the game was. So my days off, I filmed the recruit level like this one, and then I started getting into the overview and all that on my second day off, and I just really struggled with the flow, and so I just decided to whack it. And that's why this week's video is a little different. And deciding to whack it completely, I just decided to run through it. It's basically why I named it Gateway Runs Through. It's like, originally I was just going to do like I did in this video, just run through the game and explain as I go along. But in doing that, I had to film the final version, the one you're going to see during the day, and there's going to be some noises, and there's going to be some weird edits in it due to noise problems. Dogs barking, planes going by, trains. I live not that far from the Acela track, so trains always going by. So I would stop and go, and it's just, I ran out of time. But I kind of like the way this went. And over the holiday break, I'm gonna think about the direction that I want to send this channel into. There might be some changes in the new year, there might not. I'm gonna sit down and think about it. But anyway, that's enough about that. Let's get to Flashpoint Fire Rescue. I do like this game, and I was actually lying. It wasn't 3 times; it was actually 4 times that I filmed this. The very first one was done right after Mr. Jack was filmed. It was the second game I filmed, and then I did Pandemic. But and the reason that was because I traded my original copy of Flashpoint and Mr. Jack away on a math trade, and since then I've bought Flashpoint again. And the reason I traded away is just Jen thinks it's an okay game. She's it's not really her cup of tea, but the more I play it, the more I like it. I kind of regretted trading away, so I bought another copy, and then I bought an expansion with it. So, like I said, the more I play it, the more I get into it. It's similar to Pandemic, and I read about that a lot, and I hear a lot about that on the YouTube and Board Game Geek. But to me, this is much more thematical. It's much more. You could get immersed much more in the job of a firefighter than you can in Pandemic, where it's almost like you're just pushing cubes around the board. Maybe it's due to the little minis, or you could actually see flames and all instead of just seeing blocks and pawns. I don't know, but I think it's a lot more thematical than Pandemic. Don't get me wrong, I still like Pandemic quite a bit, although I'm a little pissed off with Pandemic due to Z-Man. It's actually not Pandemic, it's Z-Man bringing out the new version of it. I have the old version, it's not compatible with the new expansions, blah blah blah. Kind of pissed me off with that, but anyway, back to Flashpoint. I think it's a lot more thematical, and you can immerse yourself in this world of being a firefighter. You're always under the pressure of the building collapsing on you. You want to get in there and you want to save these poor faceless people on the blue chips. You grow to worry about them. And you sympathize for these people trapped in this building who are out to get burned up. And then when you hit a false alarm, you get all like, what? I just wasted all that time for nothing. And the hazmat tokens come out, and you're worried, I got to get the person away from it. It's going to blow up. And, you get yourself into that world real easy with this game, Another reason I like it is because it's a co-op. I like co-ops because they are easy to show non-gamers, which is
what the people I usually play with are, and it's easy to get into the roles of what you're doing, and in a co-op, instead of worrying about asking questions because you give away your strategy or whatever you have in your hand in other types of games. In a co-op, everything's open. So if you have a question, you just ask, and somebody will help you. You don't have to worry about giving away what you're doing, in a co-op, in a pure co-op, you're all trying to figure something out together, and that's another reason I like Flashpoint. I like the specialist, the variant in the specialist. Each one has their own little thing. I haven't played all of them yet. Like I said, I traded the game away, and it was one of the first games I bought, and we played it 4 or 5 times. We played it at family level 2 or 3 times, and then we played the recruit level.
All right, folks.
Sorry about that. The one video just got done rendering. What was I saying? Oh, the specialist. Yeah, I enjoy the specialist because they give you different abilities and all that. Like I said, this was one of the first few games I bought. It was after pandemic, but it didn't get played a lot, so I traded it. It played the family version with Jen 3 times maybe, and then the recruit level a couple times, and then I think we moved up to the veteran once, and then I traded it off, and I brought it back. I bought it again, and since then I played this 3 or 4 times, mostly solo. Once, twice with Jen. Once with Jen, about 3 times solo. To refresh my memory on the rules and all that, to do the video. And like I said, the more I play it, the more I like it. The more the strategy unravels itself to me, and the more I appreciate the different variants. I like the quality of the components and boards. The card stocks, not so much, but the the figurines are really, they're decent, and the board is decent, and I like the different ways you can play, the different levels of difficulty. I haven't gotten into the expansion. I have the urban structures. I haven't gotten into that yet. Just haven't had time. But I like that in the base game there are 4 different levels of difficulty, and there are it adjusts to more people with more hotspots and stuff like that. I think that was well thought out of on indie cards and indie games and cards. Right. I thought that's a plus for them. I like the fact that it was designed by a real firefighter. The cons of it are, like I said, the card stock's a little thin, but you're really not using it. You're going to look at it to see what your specialist does, and then you're just going to basically put it down. The player cards, them colored cards, I don't get the point of that, but I guess for little kids who just don't realize I'm that color, I don't know, but that seems kind of weird to me. And the packaging of the cards, that really, I really didn't like that. I actually damaged a couple because the shrink wrap was so tight. Trying to open it up, I damaged a couple. But another thing about the co-ops, and Jen actually brought this to my attention, where I've seen it, noticed it in the past, but Jen brought it to my attention that I was doing it in this game, and that's one player, driving the way the game goes. I've noticed in the past, and it's usually Jen with the co-ops, but she said in this game in particular, it's me. And not that she said it wasn't a bad thing. I don't know, but Jen's a little more competitive than me. I just like to think things through. I like that figuring things out a little more. I think Jen just wants to win, where I'm just along for the ride. That's why I think I tend more towards yours a little more. But Jen, she did point that out to me, and that is one thing with a lot of co-ops. You'll see there's an alpha player, I guess you'll say, um, and it's something that I want to work on in the future. I didn't realize that I was doing it, and it's something that I think I want to work on personally in the future. Because even though Jen said it didn't really bother her, I don't want that to affect other people's fun. So that's one thing. Not only with this, but pretty much any cooperative game you're going to find a lot. So it's a really, like I said, it's a really good cooperative. I've played some bad ones, but this is one of the good ones. So that was Flashpoint. Let me know what you think about the format. Just a run through instead of the usual role set and overview and all that. So if you're interested in Flashpoint, I advise you to check it out. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.